Hello.
Hello. Hi
Hi.
there.
Hi. How's it going?
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. It's a bit too hot anyway, but that's summer. The rest is perfect. I hope the same for you.
Exactly the same. Very hot
Oh,
outside, but with that in mind, I'm very happy to be able to talk to you again and talk about some great music.
thank you. The pleasure is mine. Thank you. Who would
Oh,
have thought that it's only 1 year later?
yeah, who would have thought? And with that in mind, it's just like it's great to see, with the fact that it's only been like a year, the fact that the band has gotten even stronger musically with what's going on here. And and next week already, next Friday, and just so happens to be my birthday as well, seeing the
Oh,
brand
very
new
good.
Kingdemonium on Napalm
Very
Records.
good. Very good. That's fantastic. Yeah, I really can't tell you why this happened. I mean, in the end, we thought we would play more live shows as everybody thought, and we didn't. So we did what musicians shall do. We did music, and so we brought up some new music actually. And then Napalm drew the what do we call that? The option to do a second album with us. And I think they told us in October, late October, early November, yeah, we would release an album for the next year's festival season. And we thought that's perfect. Yeah, if you want to release it for the festivals, you have to be delivering the master material in early March. And I thought, okay, early March, that's interesting. So we had some very, very busy months. But in the end, I mean, everybody says this, truly everybody, the spirit on the new album is fantastic. And I think it really comes from the lack of time. So you give your everything into the music and you don't think too much. And probably that's the key.
I think that might be it, especially when it comes to this album, because I mean, it really feels like a natural album, and the
Yeah.
songs are catchier. When it gets heavier, it's heavier. When it gets more
Mhm.
melodic, it's more melodic. I mean, it feels like Hammer King, but just on a new level. And sometimes it does take that pressure of time to be able to make that happen.
Yeah, yeah. It really seems so. I mean, to be very honest, for the first time ever since I've been a musician, I mean, counting the not so professional albums that I did in the past with an old band, I think this might be my 15th or something album that I made. And for the first time ever, I could not say a single thing about the album because the songs were so fresh. I really didn't know. And we gave our best, and everybody says the spirit is fantastic, the songs are catchy, and yeah, I mean, I've played the album last week for the first time myself after many months of waiting for the final product, actually. And I must say, I really liked it a lot myself. So that's a good sign, actually.
So, what was that like for you to be able to check that out like that last week?
Wow, it's always special in a way. I mean, I'm one of the persons who never really listen to their own music. I mean, you play it all the time. We rehearse it all the time. The music is in my head, so I really don't have to listen to it. But the moment when the product comes, when it's delivered and you unwrap it and you hold it in your hands for the first time, especially when you got the vinyl, that's something very special. I mean, seeing the files on the computer, this will be the artwork, this will be the backside. It looks killer on the computer, but it looks way better when you hold it in your hands on real material, actually. So that is always a little bit like Christmas, actually.
Oh, I can only imagine. And yeah, I want to say that immediately. Like the album artwork is meant to be on vinyl. It's meant to be held in that physical form. Like there's so much beautiful color and detail that's going on with the album cover that I just imagine when you do get the vinyl version of it and you're able to hold it in your hands, it's got to be such a great feeling.
It actually is. I have it. Yeah. I mean, last year I said it's Peter Salai. It's wrong. I was wrong about the pronunciation. His name is Peter Shalai, and he's a fantastic artwork person. He's a real artist. You give him very vague information what you would like to see, and then he gives you a fantastic final artwork within a couple of days. And he's super friendly. And I mean, he's working with Sabaton. It's not that he's not working with gigantic bands, and he's so motivated. And we told him, Peter, we would like some chaos, some upheavals. Give us the apocalyptic horsemen, and make sure the king is there. That was the only thing that we told him, actually. And he came up with this fantastic artwork. And what's special for me is usually I don't like the color gold, not at all. And when I saw the artwork at first, I thought, oh my golly, it's gold, and I love it. And even the letters are gold now, and we got a gigantic backdrop for the stage. I think it's, what is it, 8 meters to 5 meters. It's gigantic. And even this has the golden letters on top, and it looks killer. And I don't know why. It's just meant to be. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's funny, some of that might actually come down, to like the time as well too. I mean, obviously when he has the time to be able to work on that, but it's just like when you're putting the album together and you're just able to look at it and not have to worry so much about the color, and you're able to just look at that final product. Like, even if you don't like a color, sometimes it can be the color and it can just work out so very well. And I just imagine, like, for the festival season that's going on right now, like the backdrops that you got right now, I mean, it's just got to look stunning.
It is absolutely fantastic. And I've got a special backdrop story nevertheless, because we ordered it at a new factory that we've never worked before with. But everybody says they're the best, go with them. And I called them, I told them what we want, and they seemed super friendly, and they were totally relaxed. And I told them, we need it for this festival, can you deliver it? Yeah, no problem. And then we didn't hear anything about it. And then after a couple of days, I thought, well, in 4 days, it's the festival. I will drop him an email and say, do you deliver it to the festival directly? Because it didn't even ask for my address. And then I didn't get a reply. And I told the guys in the band, and then I made a mistake. I messed up the names of 2 festivals. And it was like a lightning striking me. And I thought, oh my golly, you have not. And I checked the emails, and I did. I absolutely told them the wrong festival, which is now in middle of August, and we needed it in July. And so I called him, and he picked up the phone, and he said, I totally know why you call me. And I said, yeah, do you think you can manage it to deliver the backdrop in 2 days? And he said, okay, I will give my very best. And to make the long story short, we had an appointment, a delivery appointment at 12 o'clock at the very day that we would play the festival at 3 o'clock. So that was like 3 hours in between, and everything was primed and ready. And the guys who should deliver it, they just didn't deliver it. And so we had to understand that the backdrop was not ready. And the guy who produced it even worked at the Rock Hearts Festival. He's part of the festival team. And then we talked and said, I'm so sorry. And I thanked him because his work, his dedication for us was extraordinary. And then a couple of minutes later, there was a huge bang on stage. I turned my head, and he threw the parcel on the floor and said, man, it's here, unbelievable. And he hugged me. He was so happy that it worked. And then we changed the backdrops. The old one was down, and the new one was up. We filmed it, and we looked like children in front of the Christmas tree. Everybody was smiling because it was so unbelievable that it finally happened. And when it happened, we had 2 minutes and the show started. So that was really intense. And man, it looks killer.
Oh, now I gotta imagine, especially when you do have that feeling, when you are able to look at that backdrop and you do just have 2 minutes to be able to get everything ready to be able to perform a set. I mean, just that adrenaline rush has just got to be hitting you. I mean, especially when you are doing a festival, the adrenaline's already there. But when everything's already going like that, I mean, that had to be such a cool feeling. And then being able to kick into that first song.
Yeah, I mean, we totally knew that whatever would happen, and there was a storm and there was rain, so it was not easy to play an open air festival, but we knew whatever would happen, it would be a fantastic day for us because the backdrop thing was so fantastic. And I think we had this spirit and this energy when we took the stage, and the audience was really into it. So it was a perfect day, absolutely.
So with that in mind, I mean, what was that like? I mean, as obviously with not being able to play much for the previous album, I mean, what was it like to be able to play material from the previous album and now for the new album as well? I mean, what was it like to be able to have that combination?
It's interesting. I mean, that's something that we'd never had before. I think in a way we must understand that we are promoting 2 albums at the same time, because most of the people have not seen us with last year's Hammer King album. So we even mixed the decoration on stage. We have the new backdrop with the Kingdemonium logo on it, but we will keep the side drops, which feature the artwork from last year's album. So just to mix it a bit and to make sure that we're actually promoting 2 albums at the same time. Bizarrely, I can't tell you why, because the last year's album is still quite new. It feels, for us, it feels like we've played these songs forever, which is not right. We probably have played Awaken the Thunder 8 times or 9 times in front of people, but it feels as if we've played that song for ages. I don't know why. So we have to understand that probably when we take the stage and play 8 new songs, that for us it feels very settled, but for the audience it can be very new. But so far it works well. I mean, I don't know. For us, for the first time ever, we've always been very conservative when it came to set lists. I'm the person who says you can't leave that away and you can't leave that away. And then in the end, you have little space for new songs. And now for the first time with these 2 albums, we flipped it around and we say, okay, we want to play that one, that one, that one from the new one, and that one from last year's one. And then we fill the rest with old stuff, which is totally the opposite of what we usually did, but it works with the people. So whatever it is, it works.
Oh, that's so great to hear. And it's great to hear the fan reception as well, too. Like everything I've seen online, everything I've heard about when you were playing the shows, like I've heard so many great things about the new material from last year and the brand new material as well, too. I mean, I've just heard so many great positive things about the live setting.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it really works. I can't tell you anything different. It really works. It's fantastic. I mean, when you create music and you think that this is perfect live music, you will get the proof when you do it on stage. But it really works well. So I'm very happy about that.
Oh, that just makes me so happy to hear too. And you know, I'm just so glad that you're able to play shows again, because
Oh,
I know
too.
we talked about it last year, like with the fact that live shows can be taken away from us, whether you're on stage or off the stage, just seeing the show. You know, it's the fact that it was taken away from us, and it is slowly but surely coming back to some kind of normalcy. And you know, like both of these albums really do deserve that live promotion, and I'm glad to see, you know, everything from the stage banners to the set list to everything that's going on, that they are getting their fair representation in the live show.
Totally, gladly. But I mean, it was a weird time, and now with festivals being back in action, it feels as if these dark times have long passed. But I just don't want to talk about it. But you never know if it will come back. I don't know. I mean, I really keep my fingers crossed that we will be able to perform now without interruption, as it should be, because honestly, so many people are really bankrupt after 2 years of not playing. Not only the bands, but the clubs. There's good clubs who have disappeared. We played a very good club in 2021, and now the club is already gone. So it's problematic. I really hope that everything goes as it should.
Oh, I sadly know that pain as well too, because in my area here in the States, in Minnesota, like we lost several clubs during the pandemic, and you know, maybe they'll come back with new owners, maybe it'll just be a few venues now, but you know, I'm glad to see some of them are coming back. And you know, the fact that you know, like at the festival season, you know, just like seeing like Wacken is starting to promote bands for next year, that's a really good sign, and that just makes me so happy. And
they're
you know,
already
just like you
sold
said,
out.
yeah, it's already sold out, and just with a minimal amount of bands announced as well too. So you know, it's that little glimmer of hope that hopefully things will continue down the right path.
I mean, honestly, they have to. If you look at the political decisions in Germany, I'm not a political guy at all, but at the moment they got a thing called the €9 ticket, which means you buy a ticket for €9, and I think it's a ticket that goes for 3 months, and you can use practically every train except for the very fast ones, which means that the trains are ultra stuffed, packed until the roof with people. No distance, nothing at all. It's full. And these trains are very slow, which means that these people, they take the train and they ride for 9, 10, 11 hours without a distance. And I think they're supposed to wear a mask, but that's everything. And I honestly said, if this is what the government pushes at the moment, they can't tell me in autumn that we are not supposed to play a show in a club. It's not possible. So everything at least should stay the way it is, because otherwise it's getting critical. You can't allow one thing, and two months later you can't forbid everything. So hopefully that's a sign that everything will stay open.
Yeah, I gotta imagine so. And with that in mind as well, too. I mean, the fact that you still are lining up shows. I mean, it's great to see that
Yeah,
even past the festival circuit, that things are lining up. I'm very happy to hear
totally.
that.
We got quite some club shows for October, November, and even December, I think. So, and honestly, we want to play the shows because playing shows is what we are made for, what we're here for. But really, we want to play the shows because we want to have the money, because we invested so much money in the band in the last 2 years. So we have to work. Hmm.
Oh, very much so. And yeah, I mean, obviously with the financial aspect, being able to promote 2 albums now. I mean, obviously, and like a Napalm support too. I mean, obviously they want you to be able to go out and tour and
Yeah,
promote everything that's going on as well too. And
totally, totally.
despite everything that's been going on in the world, I'm glad to see that Napalm did pick you up. They wanted that next album. They wanted to support you, and I'm glad to see that is because
Oh,
it's
me
just like
too.
this with this album. It's one of my favorite Napalm Records albums of the year. Like it's such a
Thank you.
strong, stellar album, and it's just like it covers so much of what I love. And again, just like with the live representation, the fact that you had that time crunch, but you're able to work under that fire underneath you to be able to make the best sounds possible. And it's just got me excited for everything that'll happen in the future as well too. I mean, everything seems to be going on the right track, so I know that's going to be happening with the band. And I'm excited, even though the album's coming out next Friday. I'm so excited to see what's going to be happening with the band in the future as well.
Oh yeah, me too. And it's hard to believe that's really happening next Friday. Come on. I mean, I've been working up to that day for I think 5, 6, 7 months. Oh no, even more, 9 months, whatever. And it always felt like the album is never coming out. And now it's next Friday. That's unbelievable. That's gonna be fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a great birthday present to myself too. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean
Congratulations in
the fact that
advance.
I get yeah, the fact I got to enjoy it early with a stream, but then on Friday being able to check out the real version and being able to check that out, whether it's in physical form or
Mm.
buying the download, whatever the case is, just being able to actually have it in my own and being able to listen to it. I'm so excited for that, even though I've heard the entire album.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Oh, for sure. And, even with that as well, too, I mean, obviously it's been a busy year when it comes to Hammer King, but you've been also very busy as well, too, because you had another great album that has come out this year as well, which I just discovered the band this year, but it was so cool to
No,
be
you're
able
right.
to hear a different side of your playing.
It's unbelievable. And to be very honest, I don't even have that album myself yet. It's incredible because we meet and do the album. They got a studio. The guys, the other 2 guys in Lord Vigo from the core band, they have a studio in the basement, and we meet and we just jam and build songs, arrange them, change them. The cool thing in that band is that the songwriting session equals the demo session, which then equals the album sessions, because you always exchange parts until it's done, but you don't have clear breaks in between. So once it's finished, we don't meet. And that's what happened. I mean, then I went there for the photo shoot and for the video, and the album had not been produced by that time. And now I haven't seen the guys, so I don't even have the album. I really have to think about the name. Was it We Shall Overcome? I think it's,
Yes.
as you said, we really worked in such a rush with 2 bands at the same time that honestly, I can't even remember many things. And I've got a very good memory normally. But this time when we hit the studio for the Hammer King album for Kingdemonium, we had 4 weeks exactly to record everything. And I did a timetable, 5 days for the drums, 2 days for the bass, and 5 days for Gino's guitars, and the rest is mine. No, 1 day for the choirs, the rest is mine. And it was a very, very short period of time compared to what I had for the Hammer King album last year. And so I really worked like a maniac. I went there every morning and I didn't drink coffee and chatted. I had the coffee and recorded the guitars. And when I was awake enough, I did the vocals. And I did that every day. And at the end, we had everything. We didn't forget a single thing. The only thing that I can't remember is actually doing it, because it was so fast, which is interesting because the album is exciting to me because I don't remember. But that's the first time that I hardly remember recording an album without drugs and alcohol. Honestly, it was just so much work. It's interesting. And that's why I already have forgotten about the Lord Vigo album, which is brand new. But I mean, now it's summer break before the festival starts in 2 weeks. No, next week. We're playing next week. So I'm having a bit of an off time to sort of calm down again. That was interesting, but it's the best work in the world anyway.
Oh yeah, and I love the fact that you're able to show so many different sides of yourself too. I mean, whether you're doing something like Hammer King, whether you're doing something like Lord Vigo, whether it's any other project that you're a part of. I mean, just being able to show off all these different sides of
Yeah,
your
yeah.
musical palette, it's so cool.
It's strange. I mean, when we finish a Lord Vigo album and we listen to that together, the three of us, we always say it's incredible we do it because none of us alone would be able to do it. It's really three people together that create these songs. My guitar style is different in Lord Vigo. My writing style is different in Lord Vigo. What I usually do is what sounds like Hammer King. But when I'm in Lord Vigo with the other two guys, I totally give different output. I don't know why. It's fascinating for me myself. I don't know why it happens. It's just chemistry, probably.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you can find the right musicians, when you work with the right people, whether it's behind the board, whether it's on stage, whether it's the production work on the live shows, working with the right label, when you have that chemistry, all those ways. I mean, sometimes time can just go by so fast that when you are working on, like you mentioned with the Lord Vigo album, it's just like it turned out so good that sometimes you can't even remember making it because it went by so fast. And then when you got obviously with the main work with Hammer King and you're able to show off this main side of what you do, you can still show off all these different sides of yourself and still be able to have those that creativity flowing.
Absolutely. And I mean, in a way, that's what life is about, getting together with a proper people, with the perfect people for yourself, and to interact and exchange ideas and the spirit that you have and the energy, and then create something. I mean, it's fantastic. And next week, I think on Wednesday, is it the 17th, we're having the next video from Hammer King. By the way, it's for the title track. And that's the first time that we shot inside of a studio for a video, and we had some actors working with us, and I had to act, which was interesting because I never did that before. And I just checked the final cut of the video right before we started the interview, and it's really impressive, I must tell you. So that's another side that we have. When we did the video, I said to Mirko Witzki, the guy who did it, he also did Pariah Is My Name, and he did, damn it, Awaken the Thunder, of course. He's a fantastic guy. And I said, Mirko, with that video, you took us, I'm missing words today, it's too hot. You took us to the next level, actually. So that's fantastic. I mean, if you can do something that you never did before, that's so refreshing. I really like it.
Oh, and that's got me so excited. And I was just about to ask if there was going to be any more music that's going to be coming out before the release. And I'm so glad to see the title track is getting that proper video behind it, because it's the kind of song that feels like it needs a proper video behind it. And I'm so glad to see that happen.
Absolutely. I mean, somebody told me a couple of days ago in an interview, I think it was a mailer interview, I had to type it. He said that the title track is different from whatever we've done before. And I thought that probably is right. The chorus is different. The choirs that we use are different. And it's, to me, the same as you said. I think this song needs a sort of a visual highlight to really stand out of the album, because it's a special song for me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and just thinking about that again as well too. I mean, especially considering that the time crunch that's really comes in with making this album, the fact that you can write those hit singles, that you can write the more epic songs, you can write some great heartbreaking ballads. I mean, it's got everything that I'm looking for on this album. It makes it a great full album experience rather than just a collection of songs. And the fact that you were able to make a full album experience rather than just like getting songs together as fast as you could really shows the talents of the whole band.
Thank you. That's very, very important for us to really, I think an album should be like a painting. It's not colors. It's what they do with each other. I mean, there has to be development from the first song until the last. And I'm always happy when this works. And the same thing with a concert. You can play 15 fantastic songs. If the order is shitty, the concert will be not as great as if the order is fantastic. So song 1 has an impact on song 2, and song 2 has an impact on song 3, and so on. I mean, it has to be in a balance. It has to be a progression, actually. I like it when it works.
Oh, absolutely, and especially with the last 2 Hammer King albums, you guys have nailed that so perfectly. And yeah, again, it's obviously it's so great that you are getting into the touring cycle, being able to do the festival shows, the club shows, everything that hopefully will happen in 2023 as well too, and
Yeah,
just getting that
totally.
proper promotion. But again, like whenever the next Hammer King writing cycle starts to happen, I'm so excited, because just like hearing where you are right now, I just know it's just going to keep getting bigger and better. And I
Thank
mean,
you.
if this is what you're doing now with the time crunch, I can't wait to see when you have a little more time and you're really
Mhm.
being able to show off what Hammer King's all about.
Absolutely. We try not to make an album in 23. Hopefully it works. No, but it's true. Sometimes I think this time it was the right decision to really give a quick shot for the next album. And for the next album, the one to follow, Kingdemonium, I hope that we have a lot of time, because when there's some time in between, the style can progress and it can change a bit. So we don't have to do another album that sounds like Kingdemonium. We've already made Kingdemonium, so we need some time to do a different one.
Oh, totally. And yeah, like I said, until then, I know there's going to be some amazing shows that are happening, that are already announced, that will be announced and lined up next year. All these great things happening. And of course, with Lord Vigo as well, too, being able to, I'm glad I was able to talk about that a little bit, since I do love that album so much as well, too. And of course, Hammer King coming out next Friday, Kingdemonium through Napalm Records. I love this album to death. I love it from start to finish. I keep going back to it just for my own enjoyment, not even just being able to talk to you about it. Like, I just love listening to it, and I know it's going to rank very high for me for my favorite albums of the year come the end of the year. And I can't wait to be able
Thank
to
you very
show it
much.
off now with this interview. I can't wait to show it off then. And with that, it's been a fantastic time being able to talk to you about all of it. Even though we're both going through a heat wave right now, this was a fantastic time.
Thanks a lot. I really enjoyed it. Thanks a lot. It was my pleasure.
Oh, awesome. So, before we're done, is there anything else you'd like to mention that I hadn't brought up yet?
Well, I mean, the thing that I always say, and it's very important, is that I thank you for the support and thank you for the time and the interest. Because again, like I said before, working together hand in hand, we would be nothing without you. If we do music and nobody talks about it, there's no chance to promote it. So thank you for the interview. Thank you for the time, the effort, the interest, the spirit, everything.